in a monochrome world, working from the side through her lonely eyes. It reflects the ocean and stars, but her cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale alive. And sorrow's tender embrace, this was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. So, I probably spooked you all with my nice declaration of I'm gonna be evil in this route, that I'm going to pick Varg if that question does come up. And I looked, and I don't think I get a choice, but we'll see. I hope I gave you all a nice good scare there. The night is deep, dark, and gentle, but I cannot find peace or sleep in the all-consuming silence. Blech. It has been 2 weeks since Mother's return. Man, these time skips are fucking amazing. And 2 weeks since I've been able to sleep through the night. Most of my days are spent at Mother's side. When I gotta sneeze. When we aren't patrolling Angel, she's teaching me how to use the Tenebrarum, readying me as her successor. Every day it only becomes clearer to me that the kingdom is suffering. People fear and hate us. It is even worse than it was before. Mother is cruel to everyone, even though I have yet to see them do anything wrong. This is why my father hated her. Your Highness, I beg your forgiveness, my child was not watching when she was gone. The man's son had wandered out in front of us. The soldier's horse would have crushed the child if the man hadn't pushed him out of the way. The stop on the road had caused a delay in our arrival back to the palace. Mother had been out visiting an old friend, a witch. Mother... There's a blinding flash of light as Mother draws a shape in the air. When the light clears, the man has disappeared in front of us. He's collapsed against the wall of a nearby building. What the fuck is wrong with you? Mother threw him into a building? Lady! Let us continue. Quick anger, but quick to go away. I gotta sneeze. Ugh. Okay. But Mother, that man isn't moving. I do not think he's breathing. Come along, Sexto. You just killed a man. You just killed a man. You just killed a man. On a street. For no fucking reason. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm good. Mother, why did you do that? That man, he... Are you questioning me, Sexto? Yes, I am! Mother's gaze is cold as steel. Her eyes are sharp as a blade. I flinch away from her. You have become soft. The world has changed you while I was sleeping. I almost said away. Do not worry, dearest heart. I'll bring you back to what you were, I promise. A hateful bitch! Can't wait for that moment. Mother smiled at me then, the same smile she would always give me when I was a child. I used to be comforted by the sight of it, but now it terrifies me. And the king. I choked down the lump in my throat. He's gone! He died?! Oh, that sucks! What is Oh, this is the worst route ever, man. So many... Jeez. What the fuck is going on? Oh, he's alive. Never mind. Sorry. Got a little emotional there. He speaks, he eats, but he is not here. If it were not clear of his actions, it is clear when I look into his eyes. He is right there, and yet I miss him. The frustration makes me restless. I stand up so that I can make my way toward the window and stare outside. I'm being ridiculous. Why should I miss him when he's been nothing more than neglectful? I've forgotten how he stopped caring about me when he invited his new family into the palace. He treasured them and his kingdom more than he ever loved me. He never valued me. And yet I would give anything to go back to how things had been. The weight on my shoulders and in my heart is overwhelming. The feeling only worsens when I turn my thoughts to another person. Fritz. I gotta sneeze again. With a sigh, I lean forward, forehead against the cold glass of the window. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have allergies. Holy crap. I have the worst allergies. This is not going well. Varg said that Fritz is still fighting, so he must still be in there. How can I help him? Fritz? Oh. Before I can turn, someone clamps a hand over my mouth. The rest of my words are muffled. Long time no see. Who the fuck are you? Oh, God. You do not have to... Joanne, please. Please, girl? That's right. Remain calm, princess. She slowly lowers her head. I turn around and stare. Stare, surprised to see her in my room. What are you doing in here? She smiles and some of the weight in my heart lifts. We're on a rescue mission. Shh, shh, shh. Gotta whisper. We? Hey! Oh, sorry, we gotta whisper. At that moment, a man sidesteps into the doorway, his footsteps cautious and soft. Garland. He does not turn completely, but cranes his neck to give me a soft smile. Hey, babe. Glad to see you're safe, princess. I can barely believe that the two of them are standing here. It's been so long. I apologize for being late. Okay, I'm done whispering. We have been trying to get into the palace for the last few months, but a powerful shield has been keeping us from entering. I almost said eating. Lady Parfait could easily destroy it, but it would meant destroying the palace as well. I mean, that would solve all our problems. Maybe create some new ones. Last thing I want is to cause panic among the people. Mythras and Varg are crafty. They've been watching over the palace like hawks. It was difficult to speak with Prince Rod when he was being watched around clock. We need more time to make sure our rescue mission would not fail. How did you find a way inside? Lady Parfait managed to find a weak spot in the shield, but it's thin and only allows a few people in the palace at one time. Garland and I know this palace better than anyone. That's why we're here to rescue you. Delore and Lady Parfait wanted to come, but the shield easily detects witches and fairies. But they're waiting for us at the Marching Princess. Was I meant to escape with Rod and Emmy before? Yeah, that was the only other plan we had. Though it didn't go as expected when someone caught a whiff of their plans and sent Varg out to kill them. Whiff. So they tried to save me before and failed. A sniffle. What? What was the question? Wait, what? No, fuck. I am opening. Oh my god. Why did you come for me? Why are you here? They look at me, their expressions baffled. What? I cross my arms as I look at them. Why would you rescue someone you hate? Princess? Of course we'd come for you. You're part of the Marching after all. What? Joanne looks at me seriously. Let's go. Joanne heads toward the door, but stops when she knows that I am not following her. Coming, Princess? How can the Marching take me back after everything I've said and done? How could the Marching accept me back? Do they even want me to return? I only realized I had spoken aloud when Joanne answers me. Princess, we wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. We have to leave now. We're running out of time. I can think about this later. I nod and follow them out of the room. I'm so stuffed up. Joanne leads the way and I follow after her. Garland brings up the rear. His eyes alert as he constantly surveys our surroundings. The night around us is cold and still, but the quiet only makes me more anxious. Varg usually appears in situations like this. Is he not here? I feel so useless having to be rescued like this. Garland reaches out to place a hand on my shoulder. We're almost out. I nod, not trusting my own voice. Shut the fuck up, Garland. Garland stands at attention as we continue slowly moving forward. Eventually, a figure moves to block our path. Hey, what's this? I cannot move. Joanne and Garland, however, already have their swords out, and deadly metal glitters in the gray glow of the moon. Odd. What's up, Mythras, my dude? Haven't seen you in a while. Ugh. And here I thought the fairy had given up. Mythras! Her voice is Mythras! Her voice is a low growl. It is so full of malice it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. Let us pass. What a stupid comment. And if I did, where would you be taking the princess? Joanne's shoulders tense. Garland glares at Mythras from behind her. God, I suddenly cannot read. My mind is just so many different places. I could lie, but it would also be easier to just kill you. You're so bloodthirsty as ever. But unfortunately, I cannot allow your mischief to continue. Sir Mythras has just begun to raise his hand when Joanne darts forward, her sword gleaming as she raises it to slice his arm. Sir Mythras howls at the moon, falling hard to the ground as he curls in on himself to cradle his injury. You're such a child. Go! I don't want to leave you. The remaining quiet is all but shattered as we run away from Mythras. Though he's in pain, he can still I can't read, guys! I can still hear his voice call out from behind us. The worst. Do not think this will be so easy, princess. I ignore him and keep running, not daring to look back. We made it this far. We've been running for a while now. My legs are beginning to go numb. Well, good, then you can't feel them hurting. Only a little longer, princess, and we'll be out. You're doing well. I can do no more than nod as I force myself to keep running. I'm pathetic. I'm slowing them down so much. There, I can see the exit. Watch out! Was that an explosion? Julianne falls back to evade the explosion and bumps into me in the process. Moments later, however, she is once again standing at the ready with her sword. Garland sits his hand firmly on my shoulder to help me regain my balance. What the fuck? A familiar face emerges from the smoke, her expression cold. Sexto, what did I say about sneaking out with your friends at night? It's past your curfew, darling. I didn't want to believe my thrust, but here you are. Princess, get back, she's dangerous. Mother turns to face Julianne and Garland, her expression full of contempt. Please don't kill them. I know I'm like evil Sexto all the way, but please God, don't kill them. I ship them too much. I remember you, Julianne Valley, you have a last name. And you as well, Garland. I thought I was rid of Alcaster's pests. We do not work for Sir Alcaster, that bitch. No, you and your pet have changed alliances, haven't you? What? What did you call him? I'm sorry, did she just call Garland a pet? How dare you? The smile on Mother's face is bright and cruel. It sends chills trailing down my spine. Is that not what he is? Oh. Mother casually waves a hand at Garland, who remains quiet. Yo, fuck you! Garland is he is a good boy. I realize saying good boy means he's a dog, but he's all man. And he's not gonna respond to such petty name calling. Nope, he's too good for that. He follows you around like a lost puppy. They're partners, goddammit. They're in this together. He's so desperate for a scrap of affection that he would do anything for you regardless of his own pride. He loves her! Garland's like, nope, I am gonna respond. I'm too good for, I'm not gonna go that low. It's admirable how well he knows his commands. Shut the fuck up. Come, Garland. Sit, Garland. Good boy, Garland. Oh, again, not one shit given. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, damn right I'm a dog. You know why I'm a dog? Because I love her. Dogs have unconditional love, girl. Call me a dog. You know what? That's a freaking compliment. Shows how much I love her. Darn right. Julianne, calm down. But his words come too late. Julianne rushes forward, her body nothing but a blur, her teeth bare to savage hatred. And she's dead. Julianne is fast, but Mother is faster. She raises her hand and sends Julianne back with a terrible flash of light, and Garland catches her. Nice catch, my dude. He also knows how to play fetch. And you defend his honor as if he were some poor maiden. Hey! That's going too far. How pathetic. Garland's voice is soft as he steadies Julianne. Please, she's just trying to get a rise out of you. And it worked. I know that. Julianne throws her hands off, a murderous look in her eyes as she glares at Mother. Guys, this is so not the time. Mother remains in the same place, smiling that terrible smile of hers. She's amused by this, nothing more. Get the princess out of here, Garland. What? I'm not leaving you here. When she's safe, come back for me. Julianne finally turns to look at him, a soft smile on her face. Trust me. No! There's a long moment of silence as the two gaze at each other. Unspoken words pass between them, and eventually Garland caves. Alright. Both of them tighten their grips on their swords. Are you done? Mother hasn't moved, but her presence in the small tunnel is overwhelming. Her magic smothers the very air. Julianne sinks in stance, her body loose and poised, seemingly unperturbed. Ready when you are. Oh, great. Now we're getting friendly here. Mother does not attack. Instead, she turns to face me with one graceful movement. Sexto, stop this nonsense. This is not the time for games. Be a good girl and go back to your room. I think I have to stand my ground. have to stand my ground. Dearest one. Was that the last? Nope, it was almost the last one. I stand resolute and take strength from Garland's steady presence behind me. What Mother is doing is wrong. What she wants isn't right and has never been right. What she's done to the king and what she's done to Angiel. How am I meant to look at her the same way? My voice is quiet when I finally speak. No. What? I take a deep breath and look her in the eyes. No, I will not return to my room. I'm not going to my room! Mother's expression is unexpectedly calm as she looks at me. My own daughter would choose these traitors and liars over me. My love is so inconsequential to you. Has she ever truly loved me? Mother, if your love is what love is meant to be, it's not what I want. Mother is not who I thought she was. When I look at her now, all I can see is what she truly is. Evil. Clearly you have become corrupted during my absence. I suppose it must be the work of these infernal fairies. Never mind, once I've destroyed each and every one of them, you'll return to me, my daughter. Jesus. She raises her hand and a light curls around her fingers, but before she can cast her spell, Julianne is at my mother's side. Please be careful, darling. Julianne's sword glints as it slices through the air and then through Mother's clothes. Go! Stop watching and go! I know it's awesome to watch, but leave! Let's go! But Julianne, if we leave her alone... Garland pulls me away. That sound effect shouldn't be happening. She doesn't have a sword. She doesn't... Okay. Garland pulls me away from my mother and Juliana as their battle begins. I hear the dull clatter of metal as we run. I can see the flashes of light as we escape back the way we came. Oh, Garland. I have not gotten far when I forced Garland to stop. Dude! It's only when I grab his soda that he stops and turns to look at me. What? I can't leave her there. Maybe I can convince Mother to let her go. You really think you can convince that witch? Well, I can try. My job is to keep you safe. Mother has all the power of the crystal Tenebrae at her disposal. I force myself to say it. Julianne will not last long. Has it snapped? Has it clicked in your head? Garland, you have to know this too. Julianne must know as well. Garland's jaw hardened as he stares at me, not truly looking at me, but through me. Garland, please. We cannot let Julianne die. Not when we might be able to do something about it. Garland stares at the ground, his expression conflicted. I know he cares for her, and that's why we must go back for her. Garland closes his eyes briefly. When he opens them, I know he has made his decision. And we're back! In the tunnels! Welcome back, team! When we return to the scene, it's very different. Blood spatters the tunnel walls, and Julianne is on her knees, bent forward, her face away from us. My mother is nowhere to be seen. What the fuck? Garland is suddenly in front of me, mindlessly racing towards Julianne. Why? Why? All at once, she seems to come alive and gasp out a breath of coughs. If you die, I'm going full evil on this bitch. Oh, okay. I had to stretch for a moment. Garland, what are you doing here? I told you to. Her voice wavers as Garland crouches down in front of her. He folds himself around her and pulls her gently into his chest. His eyes are shut tight as he buries his face in her hair. Julianne chokes back a sob as she reaches up to hold him tightly. She is so dying. I exhale in relief. Both of them are alive and safe. You idiot! I told you to get her out of here! Fritz is giving permission to disobey an order. He lifts his head to smile back at me. She outranks you, Julianne, at least as far as titles are concerned. Garland slowly guides her to her feet. What happened? The queen disappeared and Julianne suddenly stops. We hear it at the same time, a terrible ripping sound and the air itself being torn. I see a slither of shadows and unnatural light in the darkness, and suddenly I realize what is happening. My panicking mind is only able to process everything that happens in slow motion. That is creepy as fuck. Yo. She is right behind her. She's pulling a Monica shit on me. Mother appears behind Julianne, posed to strike. I see the horror in Garland's eyes, and acceptance and determination. I try to cry out a warning, anything, but I can barely breathe. Whew. Garland pushes Julianne toward me and out of the way as he rushes my mother. Okay, I kind of mixed up on who's dying today. At the same time, Garland pushes forward. Mother holds out her hand. It takes only a single heartbeat for her to plunge it into Garland's chest. Yup. I knew someone was dying today. Garland, no! What a loyal pet, giving your life for hers. Garland's face crumples in on itself. Even from where I am, I can hear Mother's twist her hand inside him. You. And how sad. Mother wrenches her bloodied hand out of Garland, and Garland falls to the ground. Oof. You fool, you didn't even tell her that you loved her. God damn it! You! Julianne runs at my mother, a desperate cry of grief and rage escaping from her. Julianne, no! She's too weak from her own injury. She can barely hold up her sword. I'm unable to speak or move as Julianne rushes towards her own death. But Mother simply sidesteps her expression disinterested as Julianne falls to her knees. I was kind enough to kill him slowly for you so you could say your goodbyes. Mother turns to face me. The blood drips from her hand down to her dress where it congeals and oozes like black tar. Do you understand now, dearest one? This is what you have made me do. This is what I must do now to all those who have corrupted you. You were the one who forced my hand. Do not forget that. For a moment, the air in the tunnel disappears. Ooh, a terrible silence fills the darkness. By the time the air comes rushing back into my starved lungs, Mother is gone. The tunnel is empty. Light flickers in the aftermath of her disappearance. The only thing I can hear apart from the rushing blood in my ears is Julianne sobs. Oh no! I make my way slowly toward her. It is like wading through murky water. Julianne is leaning over Garland and has his head on her lap. He's still breathing. Parfait can help him. When I crouch down, I can see the open wound Mother left behind. I swallow down the bile that rises in my throat along with any of the words of comfort. Magic can't fix this. Garland, please. I get down on my knees beside Julianne. This is my fault. Don't cry. Oh god, fuck you. Don't you tell me not to cry. How dare you. He smiles at her. It's a genuine smile that breaks my heart. Julianne shakes her head. No, Garland, you can't. Julianne, I love... No. Finish the sentence, man! His voice trails off as he closes his eyes. His breathing becomes more labored. He gasps one last time before his body stills completely. We have a moment of silence, please. Garland? I bite down on my tongue and bow my head as Julianne howls her loss into silence of blood-soaked tunnels. We spend some time with Garland in the tunnel. Julianne shakes with silent sobs as she grips his still body, but eventually Julianne gently removes Garland from her lap as she stands up. She takes his sword as she presses her hand to his face one last time. Then she turns and walks away from Garland's body with his sword clutched tightly in one hand. She grips her sword in the other. It takes all that I have to keep up with her. Julianne, this is all my... Not now. Her voice is quiet, all the more disturbing. This is all my fault. Sexto, Julianne! No. Waltz? What's he doing here? Waltz comes running up to us, his eyebrows creased with worry. I've been waiting for so long, I was about to... He pauses, his eyes flickering to the sword in Julianne's hand. Why do you have Garland's sword? Walt's face is pale. Where is he? Gone. What? Garland is gone. Her hands tighten on the sword she holds. For a few moments, her shoulders slouch, but then she turns away abruptly and continues walking. Let's go. Waltz turns to me. They said it was going to be a simple in and out, so I let them go alone. What happened in there? What do I say? It was my fault. Princess, I'm sure that's not true. I glare at Waltz's tears well in my eyes. It was my fault. Waltz falls silent as he studies my face, then he sighs before taking my hand. Sort this out with the margin. Come on. I can't believe Garland died! That's so awful! No! You fuck! I hate Fritz's route! It sucks! I hate this route. I hate it. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna save. I'm so mad. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm so upset. Bye.